Have you ever found yourself caught in the delicate balance of wanting to nurture a connection with someone while feeling the silent pressure to open your wallet? In a world driven by materialism, it's easy to fall into the trap of believing that financial generosity is the key to sustaining someone's interest, particularly in romantic relationships. But what if I told you there's a far more profound way to cultivate attraction and maintain commitment? A way rooted not in the superficial exchange of money, but in the profound understanding of your self-worth. Today, we'll explore how refusing to give money can elevate your relationship and keep a woman interested, all while staying true to your principles. The answer lies in the ancient philosophy of Stoicism, a timeless guide that teaches us the art of self-mastery, emotional control, and living in alignment with our core values. Together, we'll unpack how these age-old teachings can be applied to modern relationships, enabling you to maintain financial integrity without sacrificing the emotional bond you seek. This isn't just about learning to say no. It's about cultivating the inner strength that commands respect and admiration from yourself and those you care about. Let's dive in and discover how embracing Stoic principles can transform your approach to love, money, and self-respect. 1. Understanding your value beyond financial support. Let's pause momentarily and ask ourselves, what truly sustains a meaningful connection between two people? Is it the tangible things we offer, or something far more profound? In today's society, many men are led to believe that their value in a relationship is directly tied to their ability to provide financially. This belief, ingrained by cultural norms and reinforced by external pressures, pushes men into the false idea that financial support is the cornerstone of a woman's affection and commitment. But if we step back and view this from a Stoic perspective, we can see that this mindset is not only limiting, it's fundamentally flawed. Stoicism teaches us that our value is not determined by external possessions or the money we offer. True worth lies in the virtues we cultivate: wisdom, courage, integrity, and self-discipline. These qualities define our character and create a lasting impression on the people around us. In relationships, this becomes especially crucial. When we reduce our self-worth to financial contributions, we risk creating a dynamic that lacks depth, relying on fleeting materialism rather than enduring emotional connection. Think for a moment about the relationships in your life. Were the ones that have stood the test of time built on gifts and money, or shared values, trust, and mutual respect? Stoicism challenges us to move beyond superficial measures of worth and to foster instead bonds rooted in the strength of character. This philosophical approach doesn't just reject materialism. It elevates the importance of inner virtue. By focusing on who we are rather than what we can give, we build relationships that aren't just stable but fulfilling in the truest sense. Ultimately, it's not about refusing to be generous or thoughtful, but recognizing that material support should never replace the emotional foundation that sustains genuine relationships. Affection based on money is shallow, but when you live with integrity grounded in virtues, you cultivate a deep and meaningful connection. A woman genuinely interested in you will see beyond your financial contributions and value the man you are, defined by principles, strength, and the unwavering confidence that comes from knowing your true worth. That is what captivates and endures. 2. Setting boundaries with confidence and integrity. Navigating the delicate balance of setting boundaries, particularly regarding money and relationships, is one of the men's most challenging tasks. The desire to please, to be needed, or to fulfill the traditional role of a provider can often overshadow the need for self-respect and personal integrity. But from a Stoic perspective, boundaries are not only essential, they are a profound act of self-discipline and inner strength. Boundaries are not about being stingy or withholding, especially around financial matters. Instead, they safeguard your emotional peace and mental clarity, allowing you to live in alignment with your values. In Stoicism, happiness is derived from within, not from external sources such as wealth, possessions, or even the approval of others. This philosophy can be a powerful tool when faced with the complex dynamics of money and relationships. Imagine, for example, your partner requests financial assistance. Deep down, you feel uncomfortable. Perhaps it conflicts with your belief in economic independence, or you sense that providing money could undermine the healthy dynamic you're striving to build. In moments like these, it's vital to remember the Stoic principle of responding to situations with logic and clarity, not emotion. The emotions that might surface, guilt, fear of rejection, or pressure, are natural but should not dictate your actions. Stoicism encourages us to take a step back and consider the bigger picture. What is best for your well-being and the integrity of the relationship? Saying no to a financial request doesn't have to be aggressive or cold. It can be done with grace and confidence, firmly grounded in your self-worth. Consider a response like, "I understand your situation, but I believe in maintaining financial independence for both of us." This is a calm, composed statement that reflects strength, not selfishness. By setting this boundary, you send a clear message. Your value is not dependent on financial contributions, and you will not compromise your principles to appease external pressures. A Stoic man doesn't give in to every demand simply for short-term harmony. Instead, he leads confidently, knowing that proper respect and love stem from mutual understanding, not material exchange. Ultimately, a woman who values you for your character will respect these boundaries. If her interest in you is contingent on what you can provide financially, it's worth reflecting on whether that aligns with the deeper, virtuous connection you seek. A relationship built on the solid foundation of shared values and emotional intimacy will always outlast one based on material giving. When set with clarity and integrity, boundaries protect your financial and emotional health and fortify the relationship, ensuring it grows from a place of mutual respect and authenticity. 3. Avoiding emotional manipulation. One of the most challenging moments many men face is the pressure that follows when they refuse to meet a request for financial help. It's not just the act of saying no that's difficult. It's the emotional aftermath that can be even harder to navigate. Guilt, frustration, or even tears can suddenly surface, creating a powerful urge to cave in just to make the situation more manageable. However, this is precisely where the wisdom of Stoicism becomes a vital tool. For a Stoic, life is not about reacting to emotional turbulence, but responding with calm logic and inner composure. It's not about being detached in a cold or uncaring way, but about staying grounded in your values and refusing to be swayed by emotional manipulation. The Stoics spoke of apatheia, a state of emotional stability where we are neither carried away by external forces nor overwhelmed by our passions. This concept doesn't suggest we stop caring about others' feelings, but rather maintain control over our responses, ensuring that our actions align with our principles rather than with the emotional demands of others. Imagine a scenario where you are asked for money, and when you politely decline, you're met with emotional tactics, maybe guilt trips or disappointment. In that moment, your immediate impulse might be to give in just to preserve peace. However, from a Stoic perspective, emotional discipline is needed most. Instead of reacting to the emotional pressure, take a step back and acknowledge the feelings at play, both yours and hers, without letting them dictate your actions. A Stoic's strength lies in their ability to recognize emotions for what they are: transient, fleeting responses that don't have to control your decisions. You can say, "I understand that this is difficult, but my decision stands," without being drawn into a cycle of emotional bargaining. This doesn't mean you dismiss her feelings. Instead, it shows that you are confident enough to stand by your principles, even when the situation becomes uncomfortable. The truth is that emotional manipulation, if allowed to persist, erodes the respect and trust within a relationship. Constantly giving in under emotional pressure signals that you are easily swayed, which can lead to a loss of respect over time. On the other hand, maintaining your boundaries with calm strength demonstrates that you are a person whose shifting emotions cannot be controlled. This emotional resilience is admirable and deeply attractive, reflecting inner strength and self-control. By practicing emotional detachment in the Stoic sense, you protect your integrity and the integrity of the relationship. You show that you can love and care deeply while upholding your values and refusing to be swayed by temporary emotional storms. A relationship built on mutual respect, where both parties understand and honor each other's boundaries, will always outlast one that hinges on emotional manipulation. In the long run, emotional stability and the ability to remain composed under pressure will strengthen the bond, fostering more profound respect and admiration. 4. Communicating with honesty and empathy. When it comes to maintaining financial boundaries in relationships, communicating your decisions is just as important as the decisions themselves. Stoicism teaches us that true strength lies in approaching difficult conversations with clarity, honesty, and emotional intelligence. It's not enough to simply say no and move on. How you frame your response can transform the dynamic of the conversation, turning a potential conflict into an opportunity for deeper connection and understanding. Communicating financial boundaries reflecting empathy and self-respect is the key to fostering a relationship built on mutual respect rather than material dependence. The Stoic principle of logos, or reasoned speech, can guide us in these moments. When faced with a financial request that doesn't align with your values, the goal isn't to shut down the conversation with a flat rejection. Instead, it's about opening a dialogue that expresses your perspective thoughtfully and respectfully. For instance, rather than bluntly refusing, you might say, "I value the emotional support we provide each other." Maintaining financial independence helps preserve a healthy balance in our relationship. I want our connection grounded in trust, not material things. This response affirms your boundary and invites a conversation about the shared values that strengthen your bond. Stoicism reminds us that we are responsible for reacting to external situations, but not how others perceive or respond to us. By communicating your boundaries with both honesty and empathy, you are modeling the emotional maturity that Stoicism celebrates. It's important to remember that saying no isn't about rejection. It's about staying true to yourself while respecting the other person's feelings. This approach strengthens the relationship, demonstrating that you are committed to a partnership that thrives on emotional depth and shared principles rather than fleeting financial transactions. Honest communication, framed with empathy, transforms a difficult conversation into a moment of growth. It reinforces the Stoic idea that relationships should be rooted in what truly matters: trust, mutual understanding, and the strength to face challenges together. When you communicate this way, you show that your refusal isn't an act of withholding but a reaffirmation of the values that bind you together. Moreover, by being open about your reasons, you encourage the other person to see the relationship from a new perspective, one where love and respect are nurtured through emotional presence, not material giving. This dialogue can lead to a stronger, more authentic connection built on mutual respect and aligned values. Through honest, empathetic communication, you demonstrate that your self-worth isn't tied to material contributions, but to the more profound virtues of integrity, wisdom, and emotional maturity that Stoicism teaches us to cultivate. 5. Fostering mutual respect. At the heart of any lasting relationship lies one crucial element: respect. Respect is not earned through material exchanges, but through mutual understanding, shared values, and the strength of character. In a world where financial dependency often precedes relationships, Stoicism teaches us to shift our focus to something far more enduring, fostering respect that transcends materialism. It's easy to fall into the trap of believing that money can solidify a connection, but what strengthens a bond is how we show up emotionally, honor each other's boundaries, and invest in the relationship on a deeper, more meaningful level. Consider for a moment the relationships in your life that are most fulfilling. Were they built on how much you gave or the depth of trust, empathy, and mutual support? Financial contributions may bring comfort in the short term, but they are no substitute for the respect that grows from being seen and valued for who you are. Stoicism challenges us to cultivate relationships that are not dependent on material resources, but rooted in virtues like integrity, wisdom, and emotional fortitude. This foundation sustains a relationship through adversity and change long after the temporary benefits of money have faded. Mutual respect flourishes when both partners understand that their worth is not tied to what they can provide financially, but to their ability to be emotionally present and authentically themselves. By setting financial boundaries, you are not just protecting your bank account, you are preserving the dignity of the relationship. It's a saying, I respect you enough to believe that we can build something more substantial than just material exchanges. I trust our bond is strong enough to grow without financial dependence. This powerful message reinforces the value of emotional and intellectual connection over fleeting material benefits. Moreover, fostering a relationship based on mutual respect rather than financial dependence creates a dynamic where both partners can thrive. There's no imbalance of power, no unspoken expectations of what money represents. Instead, the relationship becomes a space for both individuals to grow, uplift each other, and cultivate a more profound sense of partnership. This is where true fulfillment lies. Not in the things you can buy, but in the emotional security and shared values that strengthen your connection. In the long run, fostering mutual respect through setting healthy boundaries allows a relationship to stand the test of time. A woman who respects you for your character, principles, and emotional resilience will stay engaged not because of what you can offer her materially, but because of the depth of the relationship you've both built. By leading with respect, you invite the same in return, and together, you form a bond grounded in authenticity, trust, and shared growth. Values that no amount of money can ever replace. 6. Emotional security is what matters. In the whirlwind of life's demands and material distractions, it's easy to assume that financial stability is the bedrock of a relationship. But beneath the surface, what truly holds a relationship together is something far more profound: emotional security. While money can solve short-term problems and provide a sense of comfort, it is emotional stability, consistency, and genuine support that create lasting bonds. For anyone deeply invested in the teachings of Stoicism, this truth resonates powerfully. Emotional security, not material wealth, is the cornerstone of any meaningful connection. Stoicism teaches us to focus on what we can control, our thoughts, actions, and responses, and to let go of what is outside our influence. Material wealth, as the Stoics remind us, is fleeting and unstable. However, what remains within our control is how we show up for those we care about and provide a sense of safety and reassurance during life's most challenging moments. Emotional security doesn't come from offering expensive gifts or financial assistance. It comes from being a steady presence when times get tough, offering a calm and rational response in the face of chaos. Imagine a situation where your partner is facing stress, perhaps related to work, finances, or personal struggles. Throwing money at the problem might alleviate some of the immediate pressure, but it won't address the more profound need for emotional connection. A Stoic man understands that what truly matters in these moments is not how much money you can provide, but how much emotional strength you can offer. Sitting with your partner, listening with compassion, and helping her navigate her challenges build trust and foster a sense of emotional safety that no money can buy. Consider the relationships in your life that have weathered storms. Were they sustained by financial support or by the emotional resilience that you and your partner brought to the table? Relationships built on material foundations are fragile and prone to crumble when external circumstances change. But those built on emotional security are unshakable, as they rest on a foundation of mutual trust, understanding, and support. This is where Stoicism becomes invaluable. Cultivating emotional self-control provides a grounding force that allows your partner to feel safe, regardless of external challenges. In a world where financial uncertainty is often inevitable, emotional security becomes the currency sustaining relationships. By focusing on what truly matters, being present, offering steady support, and maintaining inner calm, you ensure your relationship is built on a solid foundation that can withstand any financial upheaval. It's not about having all the answers or being able to provide material solutions. It's about being the constant in a world full of change, the person your partner can rely on emotionally. Ultimately, this keeps a woman interested for the long term. The assurance that no matter what life throws your way, you will remain emotionally present, grounded, and supportive. Money may come and go, but emotional security is a priceless gift that deepens your connection and creates a bond far beyond the material world. When you offer this emotional strength, you're offering something far more valuable than financial support: peace, stability, and unwavering trust. And that, in the Stoic tradition, is the essence of what truly matters in any relationship. 7. Living according to your values. Imagine a relationship where your worth is not measured by the material gifts you give or the financial support you offer, but by the strength of your character and the principles you uphold. In today's fast-paced, consumer-driven world, losing sight of what matters is easy. We're constantly bombarded with the message that success and value are tied to how much we can provide materially. But Stoicism challenges this notion and asks us to look inward, reminding us that true power and attraction come from living a life aligned with our values. A Stoic man understands that not his possessions or wealth define him, but his ability to master himself, his emotions, desires, and actions. This is where the real strength lies. When you live according to your values, you show that you are grounded in something far more enduring than money. You are guided by principles that external circumstances cannot shake. In relationships, this captivates and keeps a woman interested. Not the fleeting allure of material wealth, but the unwavering strength of your inner character. Let's take a common scenario. Say a woman you're dating asks for an expensive gift or financial assistance, expecting you to comply without question. Many men might feel obligated to meet those expectations, believing it's the only way to maintain their interest. However, a Stoic man approaches this situation differently. Instead of bending to external pressure, he remains steadfast in his values. You might respond by calmly setting a boundary, explaining that you value the relationship, not the material things you can give. Still, for the emotional connection, mutual respect, and shared growth you can foster. This approach preserves your integrity and sends a powerful message. I don't need to buy your affection or attention. I offer something much more valuable: my principles, stability, and commitment to a relationship built on mutual respect. Women are drawn to partners who demonstrate inner strength and self-respect like anyone else. Living according to your values, rather than succumbing to the temptation of impressing through financial means, sets you apart as someone in control of your life. And that is a quality that commands respect and admiration. In the long run, relationships that are built on principles rather than possessions are the ones that endure. A woman genuinely invested in you will be far more attracted to your integrity, emotional intelligence, and ability to lead purposefully than your ability to provide materially. This doesn't mean you don't offer support or generosity when it's needed, but it does mean that you refuse to let external expectations dictate your actions. Living according to your values cultivates a more profound sense of self-worth and invites others to engage with you more meaningfully. This creates a foundation of trust and respect that goes far beyond the superficial trappings of wealth. A Stoic man knows that his value comes from within, and he lives each day by the timeless virtues of wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. In doing so, He builds relationships that are not only fulfilling but deeply rooted in mutual admiration and shared growth. Living according to your values is the most powerful way to lead your life and relationships. It's a path that leads to deeper connections, stronger bonds, and respect that lasts far beyond the material world. And in the eyes of those who truly matter, this inner strength is far more attractive than anything money can buy. 8. Handling negative reactions. There will inevitably be moments in any relationship when standing firm in your values will invite adverse reactions. Perhaps you've set a boundary around money or calmly refused to comply with a financial request, and suddenly, you're faced with frustration, disappointment, or even anger. These situations can be challenging, and the temptation to yield under emotional pressure can be substantial. However, as Stoicism teaches us, the actual test of character is how we respond to such challenges, not with defensiveness or appeasement, but with calmness and steadfastness. A Stoic understands that while we cannot control how others react, we can always control our response. This is where apatheia, or emotional invulnerability, comes into play. It's not about shutting off from the world or becoming indifferent to others' feelings, but about maintaining composure and clarity in emotional turbulence. The Stoic man does not waver or react impulsively when confronted with an adverse reaction, whether frustration or disappointment. Instead, he remains grounded, responding with a measured and thoughtful approach that reflects his inner strength. Imagine this scenario. You've just explained that you're uncomfortable providing financial assistance, and the conversation quickly turns emotional. Perhaps she expresses anger or disappointment, or tries to guilt you into changing your mind. At this moment, it's easy to feel the rising pressure to give in and restore harmony. But this is precisely the moment where Stoic philosophy offers its most significant value. Rather than reacting to her emotions, you calmly acknowledge them without letting them dictate your actions. You might say, "I understand this is difficult, but my decision stands, and it's important that we respect each other's boundaries." This response reflects your ability to stay true to your values and emotional resilience. Maintaining composure in the face of an adverse reaction demonstrates that external forces do not control you, that your decisions are guided by reason, not emotional manipulation. Over time, this emotional steadiness will command more respect than any quick concession would have. A woman who values integrity will come to appreciate that your strength lies not in your ability to appease every request, but in your unwavering commitment to your principles, even when it's uncomfortable. Stoicism teaches us that it is not the external event, the adverse reaction, that should concern us, but our internal response. Handling such moments with patience and clarity shows that you are a person who leads with intention, someone who is not easily swayed by momentary discomfort. This emotional discipline protects your integrity and fosters a more profound sense of respect within the relationship. You demonstrate that you can stand firm even when things become difficult, and that strength is beautiful. Adverse reactions are a natural part of human relationships, but how you handle them defines the connection you build. By staying grounded in your values and responding with calm assurance, you transform a potentially volatile situation into one that strengthens the relationship. You show that your worth is not tied to avoiding discomfort or appeasing emotions, but to living in alignment with your principles. In doing so, you build a relationship that is not only resilient but deeply rooted in mutual respect and admiration, qualities that far outlast any temporary emotional storm. 9. Building a relationship on virtue, not materialism. At the core of every meaningful relationship is the foundation upon which it is built. When a relationship is rooted in materialism, where financial support or lavish gifts are the primary connection, it stands on shaky ground. Such relationships may offer temporary gratification, but lack the depth and resilience to endure life's inevitable challenges. Stoicism provides a powerful counterpoint by guiding us to build relationships on virtue rather than material wealth. In doing so, we cultivate bonds that are not only lasting but deeply fulfilling. The Stoics believe that virtue is the highest good, which applies to personal development and relationships. When we prioritize virtue, wisdom, integrity, self-discipline, and emotional resilience, we build something far more substantial than materialism ever could. A relationship grounded in these values is unshakable because it is based on the inner qualities that both partners bring to the table rather than on what can be bought or provided materially. Think about the long-term implications of a relationship built on financial dependence. What happens when circumstances change, when financial resources are no longer as abundant? A connection rooted in materialism begins to crumble under external pressures. In contrast, a relationship founded on mutual respect, shared values, and personal virtue will not only endure through difficult times, but will grow stronger. This is because both partners are committed to something more significant than the material. They are committed to each other's character and the virtues they cultivate together. When you refuse to let money define your relationship, you send a clear message. I value this relationship not for what we can give each other financially, but for who we are as people. This perspective preserves your financial integrity and sets the stage for a deeper connection based on emotional security and mutual admiration. Stoicism teaches us that the things we cannot control, like money and external circumstances, are fleeting. Our actions, character, and how we treat those we care about remain in control. By building a relationship on virtue, you focus on the qualities that matter in the long run. You are fostering emotional intimacy, trust, and respect, things no money can buy. A woman genuinely interested in you for who you are will recognize the strength in your refusal to let materialism take precedence. She will see that your true worth lies not in your bank account, but in your commitment to living a life guided by principles, not possessions. Moreover, a relationship built on virtue allows both partners to grow individually and together. It creates space for both of you to develop your character, support each other's personal growth, and face life's challenges with a shared purpose. This is where true fulfillment comes from, not in the fleeting joy of material gifts, but in the long-term satisfaction of knowing you are with someone who values you for your inner qualities, not for what you can provide. Ultimately, choosing to build a relationship on virtue rather than materialism is one of the most consequential decisions you can make. It aligns with the Stoic belief that external things are indifferent, and that what truly matters is how we cultivate our inner lives. Doing so protects your financial health and creates a relationship grounded in something more meaningful: mutual respect, shared growth, and enduring love. This kind of connection withstands the test of time, far outlasting any material possessions. Conclusion. As we come to the end of this journey, it's clear that the actual value of a relationship cannot be measured in material terms. Stoicism teaches us that our worth is not defined by what we can give financially, but by the virtues we embody: integrity, wisdom, emotional resilience, and self-discipline. These are the traits that form the foundation of lasting, meaningful connections. By prioritizing these qualities, you can cultivate relationships not dependent on material wealth but grounded in mutual respect, emotional security, and shared values. In today's fast-paced, material-driven world, losing sight of what truly matters is easy. But as Stoics, we are reminded that what is fleeting, the money, the gifts, the superficial tokens of affection, will never provide the deep fulfillment that comes from living in alignment with our principles. When you refuse to let money define your relationships, you embrace the higher path leading to personal growth, stronger connections, and lasting admiration. Please reflect on the insights we've explored today and consider how they apply to your life and relationships. Are you building connections based on virtue and mutual respect, or are you letting material expectations cloud the actual value of your bond? By embracing the Stoic mindset, You can create relationships that withstand the test of time and grow stronger through shared virtue and emotional depth. If you found this discussion meaningful and want to continue deepening your understanding of Stoicism and personal growth, subscribe to the channel. Here, we explore the timeless teachings of Stoic philosophy and how they can empower you to navigate life's challenges with wisdom, strength, and clarity. Your support helps us continue to provide valuable insights that inspire and uplift. Let's continue this journey together, building a community grounded in Stoic principles and pursuing a life well lived. Thank you for being part of this conversation, and I look forward to seeing you in the following video.